Hey YouTube, so today we are going to explore the art of grilled cheese. There's so many varieties of grilled cheese sandwiches out there, but the thing for me is it's like a canvas. You can make it any way you want and it's always good. So let's get into it. Of course, like I said, there's so many different ways to make grilled cheese sandwiches. You can make them in a skillet, you can make them on a griddle. I personally prefer the griddle. You can have all this different sorts of things inside your grilled cheese or all different sorts of cheese inside your grilled cheese. You can have different types of bread. I got some Italian bread. I have some artisan bread here, and I have some whole wheat bread. So we're gonna go through different types of sandwiches and breads, and comment and let me know what your favorite way to have a grilled cheese is. Grilled cheese is a comfort food. It's an anytime food. It's one of my favorites when I don't feel well and I'm having some soup. A nice grilled cheese on the side also makes you feel like you were when you were a kid, and it kind of reminds you of good times. All right, so let's do it. So of course, I'm gonna start with my basic favorite grilled cheese, and the best way to do that is with real butter. Whoops, it's upside down. There you go. Don't fool around with margarine and sprays and all of that. And I'm actually gonna make this one on a brioche bread. So I have my artisan brioche bread here, which is delicious. You want real butter. You can get the spreadable one if you like. I just kind of use this one because it comes, I don't know. It's easier to measure to me when you have this one if you're using recipes. So I usually buy the block or the sticks. I do get spreadable from time to time. So you want to make sure your griddle's nice and warm so you hear that sizzle when you add your bread. Now for my grilled cheese, I like to put at least 3 types of cheese. And it varies depending on my mood. So I'm gonna put that right there. So first I'm gonna put on a slice of the sharp, I have some sharp cheddar cheese here. Sharp cheddar. Of course you want enough to go over the whole bread. I'm gonna cover the entire slice here. And then I'm gonna add some shredded mozzarella in the middle. And the reason I like mozzarella has a very mild flavor, but I like to add it because it gives you that pull, that stretch when you do your cheese. Another cheese I like is Monster cheese. I love that on a grilled cheese, or provolone. This is a mix, an Italian mix. I'm using a little bit of that, and I'm gonna add one more slice of my sharp cheddar. So I love sharp cheddar on a grilled cheese. I like that strong cheese flavor. Now, I'm gonna let this melt a little bit. I'm gonna close it. Another thing I have here is my seasoning blend, and this is a homemade blend. You can buy a blend at the store. It's basically a little bit of Himalayan salt, some black pepper, some dried cilantro, and some garlic powder. Of course, you can use garlic powder by itself or garlic salt by itself, depending on your dietary preferences. I'm gonna go ahead and close this up. And then I like to just sprinkle a little bit of seasoning on the outside of the bread, and it gives it kind of a garlic bread crusty flavor. I'm gonna flip it over and do the same on the other side. Just a pinch, not too much. And now just let it get ooey and gooey. That is the goal. My cheese is running out. Here we go. Any of my extra cheese though, I do add that fall off to the outside of the bread too. It adds to that crunch. Some people do add a little bit of Parmesan on here, and that gives a crispy texture as well. So this is one of the grilled cheese sandwiches that I wanted to make. While that one's cooking, I'm gonna go to my next one. Or at least butter my bread for it. And it really doesn't take long because all you're doing is melting. You don't want to burn it. You want to get a nice crispy outer texture. And the outside, the butter is what does it. If you use margarine, you're going to get soggy bread, period. That's all there is to it. Some people like to use olive oil. It's their choice. The thing is, make sure your griddle's nice and hot so you can get that crunch. Looks like she's ready. What do you guys think? I'm gonna let it sit a little more and let the cheese finish melting down. Okay. I'm gonna butter now next some Italian bread. Italian bread, to me, is almost like regular bread, but it has a little bit of almost sourdough flavor, but not as pungent as sourdough bread. So this one gives it a little bit of different texture. It's also a little denser, so it's a little bit chewier bread. If you haven't tried it, give it a try. I like to try different breads with different sandwiches until you find that right combination. Okay, I'm gonna do the same for this one. I like to make sure the sides match. Put my butter on here. I think my other sandwich is ready to come off. Look at that. Delicious yumminess. Okay, so for this one, I'm gonna go with Italian cheese, because this is my Italian grilled cheese sandwich. So I'm only doing the Italian cheese. Okay, I'm gonna move this to the side. And on this one, I'm going to do some tomato and avocado and a little bit of Italian seasoning. Okay, so I like to slice my tomato nice and thin. It's up to you how you like your tomato. You can slice it thicker if you like. And this is a regular vine tomato, nothing special or spectacular. I'm gonna put a couple slices of that. I'm gonna add a couple slices of my avocado. I'm gonna try and slice it about the same thickness as the tomatoes. And then I'm gonna layer that on this side of the bread. Okay. Again, I have some little bit of Italian seasoning, a pinch of my mixture. Ta-da! I am going to add a little bit of mozzarella in the middle just to help it stick together. Uh-oh, my avocado's sliding out. Get in there. Get in there, avocado. There we go. I'm gonna slide that one down here and start on the next one, which is a tuna melt. I love tuna melts. I'm gonna actually add a little bit of tomato to my tuna melt, which you don't have to. You can make it just with tuna. For the tuna melt, I'm just gonna use a regular artisan bread. Or you know what? I think I'm gonna go with the whole wheat, actually. I'm gonna use some whole wheat bread here for my tuna melt. I need some butter. And this is a whole wheat, whole grain bread. Has nice seeds and stuff in it. So we're gonna add that. I'm gonna use a medium cheddar cheese with this one. And I'm gonna add tomato slices on one side and my tuna on the other. Now my tuna is really simple right here. All I have is mayonnaise, a little salt and pepper. I'm just gonna put that on the bread and press it down. So I didn't add anything special to my tuna, no onions, no veggies. You make it however you like. For the sandwich purposes, I just did the mayonnaise. When I make a tuna salad sandwich, I like to add all sorts of vegetables to it. So that one's simple. I'm gonna go ahead and flip this one. Oh, that looks delicious. Now on the outside of this one, I'm gonna also sprinkle a little more Italian seasoning. Close up my tuna melt. Slide her to the side. Let it finish cooking over there. So my next grilled cheese is going to be made on regular white artisan bread. And I'm gonna just do an old school ham and cheese sandwich. I don't have any American cheese. Usually if I do get American, I use the white, but I actually like ham with the cheddar. So I'm gonna use the white bread and the ham and cheddar. My butter isn't so spreadable anymore. I got into the center here and get from the edges and it'll be a lot more spreadable. Okay, now, for me, the trick with a ham and cheese sandwich, I'm gonna use the medium cheddar on this one as well. The trick is to chop the ham. If you don't chop the ham, when you bite it, you get this long piece of ham coming out of your sandwich. And that's not fun. So I like to chop the ham. That way you get a little piece of ham in every bite and you don't get that long stringy piece of ham coming out of your sandwich when you bite it. Okay, so I'm gonna sprinkle my ham here. Ta-da, 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 ta-da. There we go. I get ham in every bite. I'm gonna flip my tuna melt over here. And I think my Italian one is ready to come off of the grill. Well, you guys know that I love everything spicy. So to my ham, I'm gonna add a few slices of jalapeno. A little mozzarella just to get that pull and tie it together. Oops, I'm gonna close it this way. Close it up. Ta-da! And last but not least, We're gonna do an old school, classic fried bologna. All right, so your fried bologna is gonna bubble. So of course I make the split on the side so the bubble will go down and it'll cook all the way through. Let's see, what bread do we want with this one? I'm gonna go ahead and go with the artisan bread again. Regular white artisan bread. Gotta make a little room on my griddle over here. My griddle is getting crowded. All right, let's get this bologna one done. You gotta flip the bologna. Cook it on both sides, get that nice crispy edge. You guys know what I'm talking about. This one I'm gonna go again with the mild cheddar. Of course, I guess the classic is probably made with American, but I am gonna go with this one. There we go. And on my ham and cheese sandwich that's just about done, at the very end I sprinkle a little paprika. And again with my mixed seasoned salt. That just gives a little bit of flavor, smoky flavor to that bread. Let that toast up a little more. Take my bologna, I'm gonna put that in the center here. A little mozzarella. And the mozzarella just basically binds it because the flavor is so mild on mozzarella. So, I'll leave those like that for a second. Let it melt a little more. I think this one's ready to come off too. Look at that, ham and cheese. Ham and cheese. All right, so I'm gonna continue making enough for my family, but here is the classic fried bologna and cheese. Yum, yum, yum. All right, so we have the ham, jalapeno, and cheese, the 3 cheese, grilled cheese on brioche bread, this yummy tuna melt, which is the one I'm gonna eat for dinner because that is one of my favorites. That's on a whole wheat grain. This Italian one's like really good looking too. The tomato, avocado, and our classic fried bologna. All right, guys, enjoy. Tell me your favorite grilled cheese sandwich. And please try one of these and let me know what you think.